Hello, welcome to my channel, Wolfway TV. Thank you for stopping by my channel today and watching my videos. Thank you for all the support that you guys have shown me this far. And today I'm going to give you a quick overview of the DV Visa Lottery, and this is going to be explained under 10 minutes. All right, so I'm not gonna make this video so long. What the DV Visa Lottery is put in place by the US government to allow several immigrants from different parts of the world to be able to immigrate into the United States to help diversity profile of the United States. So there are two main eligibility. So one of the eligibility is country eligibility. That means is that there are countries that are eligible automatically to be part of the diversity visa process because they have sent less than 50,000 of its citizens to the United States within the past 5 years. So any country that has sent over 50,000 citizens to the United States within the past 5 years, that country is out. So that means that the eligibility is evaluated constantly. So certain countries may be added and other countries may be removed. The next thing will be educational eligibility. So the minimum requirement is completion of the 12-year secondary education or senior high school education. So you need to have your senior high school certificate or secondary school certificate. If you don't have any of those, then some vocational training may meet the requirement. But if you're from certain parts of the world, the vocational training that meets this requirement sometimes require university education. So just let me put that out there. So when you meet these two basic requirements, the other important thing that you need is a passport, a valid passport from a country, and nothing stops you from getting a passport. Then you should get a passport. The only time that you can apply without a passport is if you are stateless. So it means that there are people, they call them like people without country. If you're without a country, if for some reason you don't have a passport and you are exempted by the United States, then you can be exempted for that. But most countries in Africa, you should get a passport so that you can apply for this lottery. So the passport has to be valid passport, not an expired one, a valid passport. All right, so to fill out this application form, you go to the dvprogram.state.gov. So you need the https://dvprogram.state.gov. When you go to that website, scroll down, you go to begin entry. On the first page, which is part 1, it asks for your last name or your surname or family name, and then you go to your first name and then go to your middle name if that is applicable to you. You go to date of birth, you put in your date of birth with month, day, year, and then you go to your city of birth. Make sure that if that is known, if it's not known, then you put that unknown. All right, but there has to be an explanation why it's not known. So when the city of birth is known, then you put it there, but make sure that that matches your birth certificate. Okay, and then the next thing is you're going to put in your passport information. It's going to ask you your it's going to ask you your family name or your last name as shown in your passport, and then ask for your first name and the middle name if it's applicable. It asks for your passport number. Make sure that you type it in as it is written. Make sure you don't make any mistakes, because that mistakes from typing in your passport number will not be tolerated. They are not going to accept any explanation for why you did not type in the correct numbers or the numbers are changed. All right, and then the next thing will be the date of expiration. The date of expiration you put out there, and then you provide your country, the country of issuance, the country or authority of issuance. So that means that the passport that you're holding, when you turn on the front, what country name is there? So that is the country that issued you that passport. It doesn't matter if you got a Ghana passport in Spain. It's still a Ghanaian passport, all right? And then the next thing is going to ask for your highest level of education. Remember, that has nothing to do with the minimum requirement. So it could be that your highest level of education is senior high school. Or it could be that you continue after senior high school, you went to university, you've done your master's, or you're still in university, you've done your doctorate. Please select appropriately what your highest level of education is. The next thing is that it will ask you for your marital status. So it doesn't recognize dating or engaged. All it asks for is, are you married? Legally married. Whether it's common law or whatever. Is it married? If you're married, you pick married. If you're unmarried, you're unmarried. If you're married, there are two selections, whether you're married to a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident in the U.S., or you're married to someone who is not a U.S. citizen or not a U.S. permanent resident. If you're divorced, you have to sit there. If you're legally separated, you have to be there. If you're not legally separated, then you should put married and put your spouse's information on there. The next thing will be the number of children that you have. That requires you to put all of your children, the ones that you adopted, your stepchildren, all of your biological children. You are free to exclude those who are American citizens or have permanent residence in the United States. So if your child is a U.S. citizen, you don't have to include them in this number. All right. But if your child, whether they were born out of wedlock, whatever, you have to include them on this application. And then you have to upload your passport picture. The principal applicant, whoever you started the name of this application with, is the principal applicant, and that person is the only person who requires a passport. You upload the passport picture of the principal applicant, and then you go to the next page. The next page is the information for the spouse, their name, your date of birth, just like you did for yourself in the beginning stages, and the city of birth. And then the next thing, you go on to the children. It doesn't matter in what order that you put your children information. They don't care whether you start from the youngest to the oldest, or whether you shuffle them up. They don't care. But make sure that whenever you fill out one person's information, you upload their passport picture. You fill out the next person, you upload their passport picture in that order. All right. For your mailing address, make sure that your postal address that when somebody sends you a letter, how are you gonna get it? All right. So you put in your mailing address. If you're going to use somebody, in the first line you do care of, right? Care of, the name, and then you put in the post office address. Ghana doesn't have a zip code or a recognized zip code, so always pick no zip code. But if you put something there, that's okay. But please make sure that you're putting in the correct information. And when you're done, you submit. When you submit and it goes through, and it says success, please print that page. If you want to know how to print it, if you're using Google Chrome, you click on that three dots at the top, at the corner top of the browser, and then you scroll and you look at print. When you click print, it will give you like a PDF printout preview, and then you can select save. Under the printer, you select save, and then you can save it to your computer and then email it to yourself or whatever. But make sure that you don't lose this information, because when the selections are done, this is what you're going to need to check if you were selected. Nobody will send you an email to let you know that you won. They will never send you an email to let you know you've won. It's only after you have confirmed that you are a winner, and then you communicate with them, that they will start communicating with you. They will not let you know that you've won. So make sure that you save this information so that you can check. If you lose it, that's it. There's nothing anybody can do for you to retrieve this information. And I've made several videos talking about several processes within this application process. And if you don't understand anything, like how to take your passport picture and how to check your status if you want, like all those videos, that go down to my channel and you will find several videos and you can watch through. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share with your family and friends, so that they can also, know how easy this is, or they can understand the American immigration system. I love you guys and see you on the next video. Bye bye.